smart infrastructure, food technology, precision agriculture, and energies, alternate energy, manufacturing and materials, and so on. But at the same time, I kept telling my colleagues that these are something that we've articulated based on what we have seen as the national need and also local relevance from the geographical location we are based. But if we get faculty members as a group and create a critical mass where we can make an impact, we will embrace that. And this, our activities in the quantum sciences and technologies is something that has emerged in the process. And I have to thank my senior colleague, Professor P.C. Deshmukh, who was a former head of the Department of Physics at IIT Madras. And subsequently, when IIT Tirupati started, he came here as a professor and has been with us since the inception and has been guiding us along with my other physics colleague, Professor Natarajan, on developing the physics program here. And given the reach and the passion of Professor Deshmukh, we have had a number of workshops, conferences, visitors who have been visiting IIT Tirupati starting from from 2017, who work in this area of AMO, atomic, molecular, and optical sciences and technologies. And we have a number of visitors from TIFR and National Physical Labs and also international visitors. And and then we also have the advantage here at Tirupati of also having the Indian Institute of Science Education Research. Like IITs are the premier engineering and technology institutions. IISER is the premier science institutions in the country, and this is the only city in the country that has both these institutions in one place. And our campus is very close, just 3 kilometers apart, and we've been doing a lot of things together and developing a lot of initiatives together. Now, between these two institutions, between IIT Tirupati and IISER Tirupati, we found that in IIT Tirupati, we had at that stage about 4 faculty members who were working in the area of AMO sciences and technologies. And at IISER, we had another 3 to 4 faculty members. I'm talking about more than 2 years back. And I was told by the colleagues and the scientists who've been visiting us, some of very senior people, that you have a critical mass of young faculty members here in this particular area. And that's when, and then with the mentorship of Professor Deshmukh, we decided to create a Center for Atomic, Molecular, and Optical Sciences and Technologies, CHEMOST, which we got inaugurated about a year and a half back or so. And then a lot of activity started in the area of quantum technologies. And we've identified as now quantum science and technology is one of our thrust areas, basically the broad area of AMO science and technology, and also under that, the quantum area. And this has led to the recent recruitment that we did in physics. We have brought in more faculty members working in this particular area. And now I find that at IIT Tirupati, we have about 7 faculty members who are working in areas related to quantum sciences and technologies. And in IISER, also about the same number. So it's a big group of, nearly 14, 15 faculty members who work in the related areas. And during the recent recruitment, we have hired almost 3 faculty. We have hired 3 faculty members who work in the physics department, who work in topics. So we're giving, out of the 5 faculty members we hired, so we're giving a major thrust to this. And we also, started creating networks related to this area. So one of the initiative is with this Center for Quantum Engineering Research and Education at TCG Crest in Kolkata. Professor Bhanudas and Sabyansri Bhattacharya and Devashish Mukherjee, they are there in the center. And we have an MOU between the 2 institutions to offer joint academic programs. Their students will get PhD out of IIT Tirupati. And our students can take courses there, and their students can take courses here, and so on. So we are very keen on growing this area, and I'm glad that my young colleagues who have just joined. Arvinda just joined us barely little over 2 months back, and he has taken this initiative of putting together this workshop along with IIT Madras, because he has worked at IIT Madras earlier as a postdoc with Professor Arul. So these are the linkages that help in taking this forward, and we look forward to creating further linkages in this particular area. And there's a big quantum mission that the government of India is embarking on, nearly more than 5,000 crores, which is supposed to be launched anytime now. And our CHEMOST center between IIT and IISER would also like to be a major player in this mission, along with the others in the country. So with that, thank you for having me over, and wishing the workshop the very best. And I can see that there are some eminent speakers lined up over the next today and tomorrow. And I look forward to continuing supporting these initiatives at IIT Tirupati and along with IIT Tirupati and with the networks that we're creating. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thanks, thanks for presenting the details. And yes, so I just see the Professor Karol Zyskowski joined, so I welcome him. Thank you, sir. And Professor Boris Gutkin also have seen, so thanks for coming to this inauguration function.
Yeah. Now thank you for the invitation to India.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I request Professor Arul Lakshminarayan to deliver a talk on about the Center for Purity of Space-Time and Matter, and also about give a detail about this workshop. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Arvinda, and thanks very much, Professor Satyanarayana, for joining us and for telling us about the really exciting things which are happening in IIT Tirupati, but also in the area around that. And it's really exciting times, I think, and we need the support of people like you, and I'm really happy that that's forthcoming. And Professor Ritesh, thank you also for the support. So I want to say a little bit about the center in Chennai IIT. It won't take very long. I have a presentation. Let me try if I can share. Okay. Must be seeing yourself. No. Yeah. Arvinda, this is fine, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the IIT Madras is an institute of eminence as recognized by the Government of India. And as a consequence, there are several centers that have been formed. They have been identified and formed. And this is one of the centers of theory in the Department of Physics. While it's centered in the Department of Physics, the Center for Quantum Information Theory of Matter and Space-Time, we have colleagues from electrical engineering, mathematics, who are also part of this center. So just to give you a very brief indication of what's there, I'm just going to show you a little bit, but I thought I should first tell you where we are geographically, because many of you, I'm not sure how crystallized the idea will be of our geographical location, given our, virtual meetings. So here we are in South India. So this is where I am currently, Chennai, and Professor Satyanarayana, Arvind are somewhere here. I'll come to that in a minute. But as you can see, there is a pretty elaborate weather system which is there in the Bay of Bengal, and it's spiraling in towards us. But we are at the moment quite okay. And so that's the state of Tamil Nadu here. And a closer view of the weather system. So this is the northeast monsoon that's active. And that's Chennai again, that's Sri Lanka for you. And here you can see a zoom in of Chennai, Tirupati. This is where IIT Tirupati is located. So we are, although about 130 kilometers apart, we are separated by a state border. So that's Andhra Pradesh, that's Tamil Nadu. So the kind of local language is very different from these two parts. As you know, India is a very varied country. It can change. And also the weather can change quite dramatically. So I hope that that will not affect our interesting meeting. So this is our center's agenda is basically to address very significant open problems of fundamental interest in quantum information theory. As I said, there's an interaction between quantum physics, information theory, computer science, and mathematics. So there are kind of three tiers, so mathematical aspects of quantum information theory, dealing with things like absolutely maximally entangled states, quantum codes, mutually unbiased bases, and so on and so forth. And then quantum dynamics, matter and information, field, space-time, and information. So they are, of course, not very separate. They interlock. There are many intersecting areas, holography, tensor networks, entanglement, and so on. And so that's sort of roughly the constitution of the center or the agenda of the center. And there are about 10 faculty members at the moment, including me. There is Professor Lakshmi Bala, Suresh Govindarajan. So there are Professor Prabha Mandyam, who would be chairing the first session. Pradeep, who is in electrical engineering, deals with quantum codes and so on. Professor Vaibhav Madhok in physics. I am Mukhopadhyay in physics, who is a string theorist like Suresh. Professor Rajesh Narayanan, who is also a condensed matter theorist and will be chairing a session tomorrow. Kunal, who is our mathematician. Sunetra, who is our nuclear physicist. So we have a varied bunch of people, and there are, of course, a lot of students who are doing this work. And you can see in this somewhat older photograph, you can see Aravinda and Suhail, who are really organizing main movers of this meeting. Now, Aravinda is professor at IIT Tirupati. So some of the directions of the center, as I said, absolutely maximally entangled states, perfect tensors. These are just, these are things that we are currently working on, and also future directions. And in the second part, we're interested in questions about scrambling, out-of-time order correlators, quantum chaos, simulations, many-body localizations, holographic approaches to disordered systems, and so on. And in the third, the string theory or the ADS-CFT correspondence, tensor networks, renormalization, and entanglement in quantum field theories, commutation relations, and von Neumann algebras, and so on. So that's very roughly what we would be doing. And I cordially invite you to visit us in person. And we have because thanks to the center and to the funding from the institute, we have many opportunities open for short and long-term visits. So do think of us when you're planning a scientific visit, and hopefully we will have our next workshop in person. And I invite you all to enjoy the workshop. We have 13 exciting talks. I am looking forward to it, and I thank you all. And I'm really very happy for all the people who very graciously and immediately accepted our invitation, the speakers, and taken the trouble to be here. And we look forward to listening to you, as well as the audience the participants who have registered. And I hope that we have a very interesting session over the next 2 days. Thank you all.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for the nice introduction. And
actually, yeah, maybe I should say I should just add, since I see Carol, I kind of forgot. Sorry, Carol. Professor Carol Szyszkowski is our first speaker. He will be introduced formally, but also as a center, he is one of our mentors in the center, and he has been advising. He's in the capacity of an advisor, so I'm happy to have him actually start off this meeting, which is also our first formal event in terms of the workshop.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. Okay, so now I would like to thank our director IIT Tirupati, Professor K. Satyanarayana, and the Dr. Ritesh, head of the department physics, IIT Tirupati, for all their help to organize this workshop. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Harita, office staff, physics department, IIT Tirupati, and Mr. Satish, junior technician, IIT Tirupati, department of physics, who did lot of office works, who helped me in organizing the things with office staff, office works, and other things. So I would like to thank all of them, and thanks for all. And yeah, so now it's a time to start the talks. And okay, now our first session will be going to start now. And on as a first the chairperson of the first session, I request Professor Prabha Mandayam, the faculty member at Department of Physics, IIT Madras, to take over the stage. And please, thanks. First of all, thanks for accepting our invitation to chair this session. And thank you, ma'am.